Hey, beautiful people. How are you guys? I haven't posted anything for a long while, but I just wanted to get back out there and start sharing because it's been a while. I've been through so much through my own healing journey, and I wanted to share some information and do it, in the most responsible way possible. Which is why it's taking me so long to, come back and post things. I want to do things in the most authentic way as possible. Um, Help you guys get the real scoop, but I also to do it in a way that's responsible and doesn't shed an awful light on a lot of people. But the topic of today's video is going to be breaking free from dysfunctional or even narcissistic family systems. I don't think out there people can really appreciate or understand the extent to which these relationships hurt us and hinder our ability to grow and find our authentic self and to live with content, live with happiness, real authentic sustaining happiness. And these families that are often operating out of a dysfunction can have a significant impact on particularly the empath in the family, the one that has the biggest heart, the most caring one. And so where this often leads is the empath having to break free from the family system. And you're seeing it more now because people are starting to realize what they're dealing with. And so what you're often going to find in these family systems is there's a lot of trauma that hasn't been dealt with, especially when you throw in the element of culture. You often find families from different origins or different countries, aside from non-Western, you could call it, have at time endured more trauma throughout their lives, whether it was war, whether it was immigrating, those types of things. These individuals have not only faced more trauma in their life, but the chances are it's much less likely that they've also dealt with that trauma. Because, for example, when you include the element of culture, a lot of families from the Middle East, for example, therapy is not a thing for them. They're not going to seek help. And so what happens is the children of children growing up in these traumatic families end up traumatized themselves. And so they carry that trauma on to other people. And it's the people that are closest to them that end up feeling that trauma. And so what you'll see is sometimes these families, because of the undealt with trauma, individuals end up growing up to be narcissistic themselves. From that, you often see them dysfunctionally raise their children where they overvalue one and maybe devalue the other one. This often creates another narcissist. So you'll look at families where you have a narcissistic parent. It's guaranteed that one of the children is going to be a narcissist themselves. It's very rare, in my opinion, and from what I've seen, it's incredibly rare to see one narcissistic father or mother and see them raise two healthy children. It just doesn't happen. And so hopefully one of the children is able to catch it in time and be able to make changes, because sometimes there's a possibility that both children turn out narcissistic. The overvaluing of a child, essentially what that does is it sets them on a path to sense of entitlement, grandiosity, believing that they're more special and more worthy than everybody else. And so this way of raising your children creates a lot of problems within the siblings, especially if one is empath and they're dealing with a narcissistic sibling. So where I'm trying to get at is these dysfunctional patterns in these families often lead to one of the individuals breaking out, a lot of turmoil in families. Don't be surprised for a lot of people growing up if, for example, for empaths, the overvaluing that was done in childhood with the one son or the one daughter, it's going to carry on to the way that financially things are dealt with when should one of the parents pass away, and there's comes to topics like inheritance and things like that. So you have to be extremely diligent with those things and keep all these things in mind. And leaving these families and regaining your sense of self is very important. I don't want to tell everybody, you have to, this is what you have to do. But in my opinion, when you are being projected on by your family and you're the healthy one in the family, because a lot of times you're going to find the empath is the absolute most healthier, sometimes even more healthier than the rest of the family combined. And so when you're facing all this rejection and you're facing all this projection, the only way is to be able to get away and to create your boundaries. And then if in the future, if you decide that you want to have contact with these individuals, you get the chance to do that from a healed self. And so during that time that you're taking for yourself to rediscover yourself and regain yourself, you choose what type of relationship you want to have with these individuals. And it's funny, because when I grew up, I was so conditioned to believe that, I have to do this for them, or I have to do this, and forgetting everybody except myself. Forgetting myself while putting everybody else up and above. And it's a terrible place to be. And so you grow up with a lot of guilt, you grow up with shame that, I have to do this. You're doing a lot of things that you don't have to do, but you've been conditioned that you have to do them. Especially in dysfunctional families where they're riddled with family roles, scapegoat, you got the old age caretaker, you got the golden child. And so when you get away and you heal yourself, you get a chance to digest everything that's happened. And I can guarantee you guys one thing: when you break free and you have time to heal, and you've eliminated contact for a while, it's going to give you a lot of time to reflect, and you're going to be able to go through your life, and you're going to be able to see a lot of things for what they are. And you're going to and then you're just going to realize more and more just how much you've been taking. And with that, when you're able to see things from a centered place, you can decide, okay, is this something that I want to have? Do I want to have this relationship? There's a great analogy I heard, because this is something that I was kind of battling with when I was trying to figure out, how to, in what way I want to sustain my relationships with individuals. And, it was the analogy of the bank account. For example, when we're growing up with our parents or with any other family member, you look at your relationship with them as sort of a bank account, and you see them. This is when you want to gauge, what type of relationship you want to have. You get to see, okay, has this person made enough deposits into your, bank account of love? Have they, imagine yourself being someone that never deposited money into an account, and then when you're older, you go to the bank and you ask the teller, hey, I want to withdraw this money, and then they're going to tell you, well, sir or ma'am, sorry, but you haven't really made deposits into this account. And if anything, some of these individuals have actually most likely even withdrawn. And so use that as an analogy to decide, has this person made enough deposits into your bank account of love? And so you use that as a way of not feeling guilty about the decisions you make. You want to create boundaries, you do it for yourself. And guys, boundaries is so important. Getting out and creating boundaries with your families is going to help you create boundaries with so many people in your life, in your job, in your career, in your relationships, everyone. And it has such a profound impact on your life. And so I just want to share, guys, with you. I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to share a little bit about sort of my experience and from what I know, what I gathered, that I believe could be valuable for you guys. I'm gonna post something else, of another video about my own spiritual awakening that I've had over the last little while. It's like for years I've been trying to wake up. I had so many questions. I was searching for answers everywhere in my life, and I just couldn't get it. And I realized that a lot of times that the people that were closest to me were the ones that didn't want me to find those answers, because me having found those answers would create a lot of instability in the family, and the family likes to function a certain way, and they don't like to be thrown off that center. And so whether that meant that you were getting mistreated, that's fine, as long as the family can continue being the way that it was. And so I'm gonna post another video shortly about my spiritual awakening, the synchronicities that happened for me, how I got into studying psychology, which I'm doing now. And I just have gone through so much in my own life that I just felt that I would be doing a disservice if I wasn't sharing that out there with other individuals, because I know there's so many people that are going through these things and they're having a hard way navigating their way out of it, these situations that are no longer serving them. And so I just want to share you a couple minutes with you guys, and I hope you get some value out of it. If you have any questions, feel free to post it in the questions box. Would love to get a like and a subscribe from you guys. I'm going to try to post more videos, but more importantly, I'm just going to post content and hope that you can connect with it, and it's going to help you along your path, because I know how excruciating painful these journeys are. Believe me, if you could imagine the things that I've gone in my own journey just to get away and to create space for myself, it's though I feel I've always been protected by something greater than myself above, it's an extremely painful road. It includes letting a lot of people go, but it's a prerequisite to being able to find your highest self and being able to live the most authentic and best life that you can for yourself, because the relationship that you have with yourself is going to dictate so much of your future. And so finding a way to have a good relationship with yourself is going to be key in how you carry yourself, in how you relate to your environment, in every part of your environment. And so it's an indispensable step that, there's no 5-step method that we can just kind of wake up to and implement right away. It's a bit of a journey, but it's doable. And I want to be a resource for you guys in any way that I can to help you get there. So thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.